Welcome to the 2016 annual Chocket Awards, presented by Dante and Camille, two strong black women. They count only the categories that matter. Sit back and relax. This will only hurt for a minute. Got the best movie, you call it best picture. See you in the theater, I try to get with ya. Rockets and chicken, so damn delicious. Dante and Camille, hear them get vicious.
Hello and welcome to the 812th Annual Chocket Awards.
812?
Yes, and even then, Meryl Streep had won for Best Supporting Actor.
She had 2 stars on her dress.
Why is that sticking in your head?
I don't know.
Yes, we just watched the, what number was this, the 88th?
88.
Yes, we just watched the 88th Academy Awards. That was uncomfortable. There was a lot of uncomfortable moments.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the best award show.
It was too up and down. This year they had
weird,
Chris
yeah.
Rock hosting it and everyone wanted him to boycott it because of the whole Oscars so white. They were upset that there were not enough black people nominated for stuff. I asked people, like, okay, could you name a film that you would consider like a black film that you would nominate, or black actors that you thought did well where they should be nominated? I remember you mentioned the guy who played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton.
I liked Straight Outta Compton. I thought it should be nominated.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, it wasn't bad, but yeah, definitely especially after I finally caught up and saw like all 8 films that were nominated for Best Picture, for sure, Straight Outta Compton, because they actually did have space for 2 more films.
Yeah.
And I would have definitely added Straight Outta Compton, at least to add some. We have our categories, the same ones as last year. So we're going to start with the first category. Somebody's all prepared, and
I have notes.
she has notes. I got a blinky cursor.
I have a bad memory, and I couldn't remember all of the movies that I saw and what I liked about them. So I just took some time, went on YouTube, watched a couple of clips, listened to some soundtracks, and I took some notes, and they are extensive. I'm making notes, paper noises.
That's not sound effects, by the way. She's actually has paper. So that's happening.
I still use pen and paper.
We're going to start with, first category is Best Music. You start first. You're the lady.
How dare you? Very sexist.
I thought I was being chivalrous.
Are we just diving right in?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay.
We're going to start off with Best New Music because, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Not Best New Music. Sorry. We're starting with Best Music.
Grammys now. Hold on.
We're going to start with Best Music. When I was thinking about this category from last year and also thinking about the movies that I saw this year, and I was like, what movies did I see where, Jesus Christ, Anthony Anderson looks old as shit right now?
Oh dear.
Oh, God, Boy George looks even worse.
I don't know.
Sorry, we got distracted for a moment.
Television.
Okay, so I was thinking like movies where the music fit what was happening, made me remember it and felt a certain way, and after the movie's done, I still thought about it. Like now when I hear that music, I associate it with that film. That's how I put together my choice.
Okay. My best music was Mad Max's soundtrack. Very close second was the soundtrack from Far From the Madding Crowd.
That's sad I try to remember, it's not sticking in my head.
It's okay.
I enjoyed that movie, surprisingly, even though they had big outfits on.
Big outfits?
Like the big dresses. Remember when we went, when we went to go see the Far From the Madding Crowd, I thought we were going to see Mad Max. Do you remember this?
Yes, that's funny.
I thought we were going to go see Mad Max. And I was looking at the time she kept saying, and I was like, she's gone crazy because Mad Max isn't playing at that time. There's some other thing called Far Madding Crowd. What's this? And if I had seen the poster or anything, I didn't know about the movie. If I had seen it, I would have just been like, they're wearing like old-fashioned-y clothes. And that's usually like a turn-off for me. It turned out to be a great film, but I don't remember much about the soundtrack or the music.
I liked it.
So that was your second choice.
That's my second choice.
I don't know why I'm harping on that, seeing as how that's your second choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I picked the exact same thing.
Of course.
Yes.
Because the music is damn great.
The music for that movie makes you want to run when he's running from stuff.
It's really enlivening.
Yeah, it's very tribal. Lots of drums, deep horns, just and oh god, the guitars.
Yeah, the guitar man.
Yes.
The guitar man.
Guitar man shooting flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing. That's one of the best visuals.
Mhm.
Like that's something like when I'm like 80 years old and just saying random shit. I'm be like Doof Rider, flame guitar, and shit myself.
I think whenever I air guitar in the future, Wayne's World is now out of my head. Now when I air guitar, I'm thinking Mad Max Fury Road Guitar Man. That's what air guitar is all about.
We need red onesies and to pull them up past our calves.
We can do that.
It just stops.
Amazon has everything.
I'm gonna get a red onesie. Next category we're gonna do best look / style. Now for this one, I picked The Revenant.
Mm-hmm.
I picked The Revenant because it looked so terrible. Like not in terms of quality, but the actual look of the movie. When he was cold, I was cold. When he felt like he was tired, I was just like, oh my God, somebody needs to save this poor guy. The way it was shot, like the wide scenes, like things just seemed so empty. The wardrobe, like the clothing, like the look of it, actually looked dirty or worn in or something, because that's a complaint I have sometimes about films. Even if a film's from the 60s, someone will walk in wearing a suit or something, or just normal hippies or something, and I'll go, those look just off the rack. Like, those clothes don't look like you've ever worn them before.
A hippie with a crease?
Yes. This is now the name of my metal band. A hippie with a crease. That's the best name ever. So yeah, that movie, just the way it looked and the style, everything looked filthy. Everything looked cold. Everything looked painful. Like, so much about it. I was using chopsticks. I went so bad watching that movie. My lips I felt so dry and ashy. We left the theater. It was cold outside, but I couldn't say too much because I was just like, I just watched this where this guy went through hell. So I felt kind of bad going, oh God, it's only 65 degrees. So yeah, my choice for best looking style is The Revenant.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have a different choice. What? Don't suck in air.
She just told me to stop breathing. She wants me to die. Oh, Lord.
I chose Brooklyn as my best look / style.
I shit you not. I was going to pick that.
Well.
For the same reasons I gave The Revenant, except for the ashy lips and stuff. I really did like the way that looked. I
thought the costumes were pretty awesome in that movie. But I was thinking, it can't just be costumes. 1950s is well documented. There's so many photos, there's magazines, there's still lots of patterns around from that time. So making costumes isn't just the thing. When I revisit those scenes, just how the scenes were laid out. I keep going back to the dinner scene where she's in the boarding house with all the girls, and they're all sitting there. Those were really great scenes.
I love those. Are my favorite scenes, by the way.
That's if they were going to put that on the Oscars, I thought, like, for best production design, that would have been the scene to show, because it's them. Everybody's either dressed up, they're going to work, or they're dressed up because they're going out. So they're dressed up. Everybody's looking their finest. But it's lower middle class finest, because these are all single ladies. They've got this style that isn't, it's not high class, it's not elite, it's not dripping with diamonds, 1950s. It's Brooklyn, lower middle class. We still look nice and respectable ladies. Plus, they're sitting in this room. What the hell is in that room?
A table, a light above the table.
It was perfectly designed for them to focus on the conversation and the women around it. And that's all you saw. Yeah,
you didn't really get a tour of that house.
No.
Like, I think all you saw was that living room and her basement room.
Yeah, her basement room for a quick second. But I just thought that particular scene was just really well put together. And then, same thing when we went to dinner at the guy's house, at his family's house.
Yes.
You didn't see anything about the house, but you knew that they were lower middle class, and you could tell that from just their look and the table and how everything was set. And it just kept on carrying into different scenes like that, like the dance scenes, both the dance scene in Brooklyn and the dance scene in Ireland. I just really like how everything was translated into those scenes. You knew who these people were. You knew how they felt about life. You knew their class and status.
Yeah.
But nobody, you knew if they were happy or sad. It was really well done. You knew what the focus of the scene was. You knew what the focus of them, what they really wanted. It just really came through in those. I really like those dinner scenes of her at the boarding house. I thought that made a lot, and that really sold me on that. Best look style, Brooklyn.
Okay, guess who just won for best looking styles? Brooklyn. Yeah, because that sounds a lot better than me with my ashy lips.
Revenant was good.
Oh no, Revenant was really good.
It was good.
But no, everything you just said means that Brooklyn won.
Okay.
Next category.
Dinner.
We're gonna go for best scene. Now this one was so hard.
So hard.
This one was so hard. I'm not going to even say all the ones because we'll talk about it as we go on because we do not have the same thing. I know for a fact we don't have the same scene.
Do you want to go with top 4 listing and then pick?
Wait, what?
You want to list some top 4s?
I have to. Okay, can I make them up? No, can I make them up on the spot? Because I can think. I saw a lot of films. I can think of some stuff right now off the top of my head.
Do you want me to do my top 4 and as you think of your top 4?
I don't need to think.
Okay, well, go for the go.
Okay, top 4 scenes from movies from last year.
Uh-huh.
The one I have listed is the church fight featuring Colin Firth from Kingsman.
Okay.
Oh my
That's
God.
your top.
That's my top.
Okay.
That's my winner because Colin Firth is not an action star. Like if everyone listening to this, look at Colin Firth and try to picture a scene where this man wearing an incredible suit. By the way, that movie had a great wardrobe. So good, the stuff started being made for real. Like they had a line of clothing for Kingsman. Beautiful wardrobe. This guy kills about 50 people in a church using a gun, books, chairs, a flagpole, while Freebird's playing. It's the craziest scene, and it's so unexpected. It's a beautiful scene. The music goes with it. Most of it's done in a single solid take, which I didn't know. I actually thought there was a lot of cuts in the scene, and it turns out there weren't. It's a beautiful scene. Okay, so that's my number 1 top choice. Second, I would say from Mad Max Fury Road, his first escape. Like after he's first captured by the war boys, and he's running because they're tattooing him, and they're about to brand him with the symbol. And he breaks free. And that scene, I like it. I would say that's my favorite scene from that movie, just because there's so much backstory happening as he's escaping with the hallucinations. Like, oh, he's about to make it free, and this hallucination will say, "Why didn't you save us?" And he stops just long enough to be captured again, and then escape and fight. Yeah, so that would be my second one. Third scene would probably be from The Revenant. Ah, God, there's like 2 favorite scenes I would say from The Revenant that I like. But I'm going to say the blinking scene.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there's a scene in The Revenant where after just being destroyed by a bear, Tom Hardy, scumbag of the earth, Tom Hardy in this movie, tells him in the freezing cold while they're outside, just blink if you want me to end your life. Just blink. And I mean, the snow's in their face. It's cold. It's freezing.
Who doesn't blink? What human doesn't blink?
He's trying his
Christian Bale?
damnedest not to blink, and he's just staring him in the eyes. And then he turns away for a few seconds, and you're like, "Oh, thank God!" Then he comes back, and he's like, "Come on, just do it for me. Just blink." And he thinks he does. And he tries to smother this poor bastard. It's a really screwed up scene, and I would say my 4th favorite scene would probably be the supermarket fight in American Ultra, just because it's Jesse Eisenberg kicking ass, which is 2 words that should never be put together. Jesse Eisenberg kicking ass using grocery products.
4 words.
I don't count well. But yes, He kicks ass in a grocery store using grocery products, and that scene was so cool. And what he's saying, there's a lot happening in that scene without spoiling the movie, but I really enjoy that. So yeah, those would be my 4.
Okay.
What's your 4?
Well, my number 1 scene was from Straight Outta Compton.
Uh-huh.
It was the recording scene, starting from when they first recorded Boys in the Hood. I thought that scene really captured, if they wanted to make a short movie based on Straight Outta Compton, like the best, they could have just cut that scene from there, because it shows them just kind of getting started with music, just started with production, then it shows them being just gangsta, because that whole group, the HBO, homies, something, the group that was from New York.
The East Coast, yeah.
They tried to stand up, and everybody's like, get out. That was good. Straight up, they got gangster. Easy standing with a bottle of Hennessy. I'm gonna smack you upside the head. And then they're like, come on, Easy, you get in the studio. And Easy gets in there, and it just kind of, it shows everything. I thought it was like, okay, this is a good capture of the whole movie, capture of everybody's personality, capture of what they were all about together, which was music. That was my best scene. But I had lots of runners up. Yeah. Another one was from Room, and that's when Ma tells Jack that room is just a room and that the world is real. That scene, I just remember when we were in the theater and that scene was going on, my stomach just went, I was just like wringing a towel, just like, oh my gosh, because the kid would not take it. He would not believe it.
My brain was like, too fast, you're giving him too much information.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But that scene was just mind-blowing. Oh my gosh. She's telling him it's real. Some of it's sinking in, and that's why he's fighting it.
I don't like this story.
Yeah, that's why he's fighting it. That scene was heart-wrenching. So, yeah, I thought that was a good scene. And, of course, from Revenant, talk about heart-wrenching, that's the bear attack. That scene, wow.
We were crawling in our chairs. Yeah. That scene messed me up good.
That scene was...
And it wasn't short. That was not a 10-second scene.
It was not short.
It was
not meant to be brief.
So he was crushing him.
Stomped on him.
He came back for seconds.
That if you are not into intensity, if you don't like animals.
Wait. So if you hate animals.
If you like soft and cuddly animals, if you think that animals aren't fierce, and if you don't like blood, bones being crushed,
maggot-infested wounds,
do not see The Revenant, and for goodness sakes, avoid the bear scene.
Now, just so you know, there's never been a documented attack of a bear attacking a human. That entire scene was fiction. Bears are cute, cuddly beings. They do not attack people.
I don't know what's happening here. There's a movie.
That bear fucked him up so bad.
There's the grizzly man with documented evidence of being attacked by a bear. Moving on.
Oh, God.
And my fourth scene that is notable from Tangerine, which you did not see, and it is at the beginning, so you can actually find it on YouTube. You don't have to get the movie, but you should. It's when Cindy finds out that her boyfriend Chester has been cheating on her while she was in jail.
Don't date anyone named Chester, by the way.
Yes!
Don't ever date a dude named Chester.
That is a bad idea.
No, I don't care how rich or successful. I don't care if he has the biggest penis on earth. Like, you can just see it from across the club. And, like, he walks up to you, and you're like, oh, hey, what's your name? And he says Chester.
No.
Seriously, throw a drink in his face and throw a match second and run. Because Chesters are problems.
Yeah.
Don't name your child Chester, anybody listening.
That's a bad idea. So those are my four scenes. Straight Outta Compton was the winner.
Okay. I totally agree with you on the Revenant scene. That bear scene. Because that was one of my ones. Like, I was just like, if I'm going to pick two scenes from the Revenant, it's going to be the blinking scene or the bear scene. And the blinking comes after the bear. Like the bear is more intense, where the not blinking scene is more suspenseful.
For me, if I had to pick two scenes from The Revenant, obviously the bear and then the final fight, where I like when he gets the assistant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh. How do we pick this?
I think we can both have one.
Okay, so I'm going to pick between all of these. I'm going to stick with my church fight, Colin Firth for Kingsman.
I'm going to stick with Straight Outta Compton.
Okay, then.
Fine.
All right. So the winners are Kingsman and Straight Out of Compton. Or as the cool kids say, Sook. Next category.
Next category.
I don't know if you have this one. That's the problem. It's down the drain.
Down the drain. I do have a down the drain.
Okay, down the drain, when we defined this last year, our loose definition was something where it started off good or had the potential to be good and just stanked. Just went straight down the drain.
I got one.
Okay, so what's your nomination?
Pitch Perfect 2.
You sound so hurt.
I am pain.
I have not seen this movie.
I was so excited.
I know, you really liked the first Pitch Perfect.
I have built this up in my heart.
Aww.
For so long. My friend, over a year. Over a year we had built this up.
Yay, Pitch Perfect 2 is coming out.
Pitch Perfect 2 is coming out. We're going to go see it together. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so great. Oh my gosh, don't you forget about me. No.
Oh.
It sucked. It started off bad.
Oh.
It continued. And then it ended. It was bad. It's like they took one of my favorite movies and they just kind of continued it a little bit. Actually, the same thing happened on the season 2 of Flight of the Conchords. The Flight of the Conchords, the first season was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the second season, they realized how funny these guys were. And so, let's throw some more money at it. And so it just got overproduced and blown up. Same thing happened in Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect was great. It was like the chemistry of everybody working together came out. All the funny people were able to Mad Lib. There was some natural funny in there. And the music was really, really good. Pitch Perfect 2, it's like they said, oh yeah, we had all these funny people. Let's bring them back together. It won't be as natural. Let's write some more script. Let's write their ad lib instead of letting them do some natural stuff. Let's write another crazy storyline that doesn't make sense. Let's do that. Let's not put as much money towards the music. Okay. It was just, that's what it just felt way overproduced. The songs that they chose and how they performed them, I just wasn't impressed with. It didn't really feel as like naturally funny as the first one did. And I went in like, yeah, this is going to be so fantastic. Oh my gosh. And it was just, walked out of the theater and I was like, all right. Disappointment.
Well, my nomination for Down the Drain, and this one bugged me because it actually had the potential to be really good, was Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland was starring George Clooney. If anybody who's seen Tomorrowland, or if you have not seen it, I would actually suggest watching the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes is a great film. It's so fun. It's about this little kid who's an inventor. He's supposed to be the young George Clooney, and he actually does look like George Clooney when he was a kid. It's kind of creepy. Mm-hmm. He ends up taking this invention, a jetpack, and ends up in Tomorrowland. He tracks down Hugh Laurie and his daughter, and he follows them to this place. And he's in this futuristic world. And the robot fixes his jetpack. Like, he's there with this, like, clunky thing, and the robots are just like, okay, there you go. Now you have a real working jetpack. Makes it perfect. It's action, but he has to go back to the real world. And all of a sudden, the girl freezes the movie. She says, hey, you're taking too long. What are you talking about? And George Clooney's like, oh, you think you can do a better job? So then it continues with her stupid-ass story that's boring, completely uninteresting. This girl's supposed to be a genius. She's one of the dumbest people you've met. everything about the movie sucks. Everything you thought was real wasn't real, it turns out. Turns out there's no tomorrow. Spoiler alert. Turns out there's no Tomorrowland. It's a fucking wasteland in the future, and then the end of the movie turns into a Coca-Cola commercial. I shit you not. I'm not kidding. You could put the Coca-Cola music. I might do that. You put the Coca-Cola I like to teach the world to sing.
I like to.
Oh my god.
The world to sing.
It's such a shit movie, but the first 10 minutes are good.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it's garbage.
Aww.
So it took this really huge dip. God, that would have been a really fun movie if they had just kept it about that kid. There was no need for a George Clooney as an adult to be in that movie or that boring ass girl character. See, the problem I'm having is you were actually emotionally invested in your film. I was never like, hey, Tomorrowland's coming out. Yeah, my favorite ride, Disneyland, because I've never fucking been on it. I don't know shit about Tomorrowland.
Have I been on Tomorrowland?
Oh, we got bad parents.
I've been to Disneyland.
Somebody call my mama.
I'm just trying to remember.
If you went to Tomorrowland?
I've been in Tomorrowland because that's where Space Mountain is.
I've been on Space Mountain, I think, yes.
So you've been in Tomorrowland.
Okay then, yay.
I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
There isn't a ride.
Okay.
It's just Tomorrowland.
Oh, awesome, cool. My childhood is not as empty as I thought a moment ago.
Dear.
So yes, I wasn't emotionally invested. Yours, you actually had a first one. There was a first movie and then a sequel. I remember seeing the trailer for the sequel. I was like, oh, this looks big. Like, because the first one, I remember when that came out, you didn't hear that much about it.
No.
Like, you heard about it later, like when it was like for rent and on TV and cable and stuff. And then the second one, it looks like what you said, like they discovered that it was popular and added a lot of money. And I don't think people realize that sometimes, that that's not the important thing. Like, giving it more money doesn't make it better. That's a really weird thing that people do. They think that more money makes it better, but that's not the case.
No, you got to catch that chemistry again. Like, it just, of everybody working together.
Yeah.
It was the right time, right place, and the right music. That's a big part of the first movie, was the music being awesome.
Pitch Perfect 2 wins the Chocket for Down the Drain. Next category is Down the Rabbit Hole. That one is for movies that sucked you in. Movies you got all kinds of carried away when you saw these damn movies. It took you in. My nomination for Down the Rabbit Hole, which is a good thing, is Beast of No Nation. I nominated this because there's usually about 3 or 4 movies that come out in a year where as I'm watching it, I'm forgetting I'm watching a movie. Like, no matter how outlandish it is or anything, I'm not thinking like, whoa, this is a good movie. I only have 30, oh man, there's only 30 more minutes left. When I was watching Beasts of No Nation, I was in fucking Africa with a bunch of terrifying children that were attacking people with machine guns, machetes. Idris Elba would come on screen. My brain didn't go, oh, wow, Idris Elba looks really different or anything. Like, sometimes you'll see an actor and he'll snatch you right back out the picture. No, I believe Idris Elba was this commandant and he was crazy and leading this army of psychotic-ass children. It felt like, even though, of course, there's like special effects and cool things, like camera tricks and things, like when that kid took those drugs and did God knows what in that hut, there was scenes in it that it felt like you were watching a documentary. Yeah, it felt like a documentary.
Yeah.
That's the best compliment I can give a movie like that, is the fact that it felt like a documentary. So yeah, Beast of No Nation is my choice for Down the Rabbit Hole.
I might also agree. If
What?
it weren't for my selection for Down the Rabbit Hole, which was Tangerine.
Uh-huh.
Tangerine, I just thought, as you know, that I can go to the movies for anything. We have gone and seen some crappy-ass art house films. And so I thought, oh, Tangerine, this sounds cool. It sounds like a really crappy movie shot on an iPhone. I'm just going to go see it. It's at the Sundance. One of the actresses is going to be there. That'll be kind of neat. As I can skedaddle out if I don't feel like talking to him. So I go, and it's this awesome-ass movie with LA as a character about part of LA, which is hilariously real, but cartoonish at the same time. And the characters are fantastic, but it's real. It feels real. I just wasn't expecting much. Alice in Wonderland, I fell down a rabbit hole. Here it was. I'm in Wonderland, aka Santa Monica and Highland. And I thought it was super fantastic. I liked the movie a lot. And I was thoroughly surprised by that. I did like Beast of No Nation, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen Tangerine yet. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I can't argue against that.
No, you can't. No, you cannot.
The Beast of No Nation, yes, that was a great film.
I thought Beast was good, though.
Yeah, anybody who hasn't seen that should. Like,
Yeah,
that's
they
just,
really should.
it's just good. You can watch it on Netflix. Watch it on, yeah, just watch that movie. It's not like what I thought. I actually thought it was going to be depressing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to be like, just these poor
Bad
African
boys.
kids just getting shot and shit everywhere.
Man.
It's actually not. It's a good movie that feels like a documentary.
Yeah, it really did feel like a documentary.
Yeah.
It felt like you were just watching. You were there for these really horrible moments in these kids' lives.
Yeah, and I like the pacing of it too, because it didn't feel like it was happening in a fast forward, like a fast motion way. It wasn't. You got to see the evolution of the kid's life. You saw that they were poor, and their village was surrounded by an army, but they were still happy and having fun with his friends. And then the next thing you know, everyone's being killed over the smallest infraction with that lady, the crazy lady. The smallest infraction changed their life. Next thing you know, he's crying in the jungle and found by a guy who starts a child army.
Yay. Oh.
Yeah, and it's not like he's like this badass from the get-go. It's like he has to learn to be someone who can kill. Man, yeah, that was really good. That actually makes me want to watch it again. So it's happening.
Huh? I don't see any problem with us both having choices.
Okay.
It's a Chocket.
It's a Chocket.
We do our own damn thing.
Tangerine Beast of No Nation.
Beast of No Tangerine Nation.
Maybe there are not tangerines where they live.
How do you know?
We need to find citrus. I need vitamin C.
Scubby.
Wait, on their foot? Like,
It was their arm.
oh, that's what you were doing? Scubby.
Scubby.
That's a new Shaba. Shaba!
Scubby. Ah.
Mr. Lova Lova. Mm.
Tangerine Man.